that, motion carried. That brings us to open business. As customarily our practice, we will go to the council, elected officials, and then we will open this up to public comment. Is there any open business from the elected officials?
Chairman,
Councilwoman.
I was asked to communicate that there are volunteers needed for the Meals on Wheels routes in the city of Taylor. I think the home delivered meals go out of the senior center and congregate, I think at the senior center and Maplewood. If you're interested in volunteering, you can go to waynecounty.gov /SVS, I think it's Senior Veteran Services, or you can call 734-326-5202. I know you can volunteer 1 day a week or every day. It will take any help that they can get to be able to deliver meals to older adults.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Mr. Chairman, just a couple announcements. City Hall will be closed for Labor Day on Monday, September 2nd. And my office is hosting Shred Day on Saturday, September 14th, in cooperation with Taylor Rotary, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. here in the parking lot of City Hall and Fire Station, just similar to the past. I'm going to say it again. I'll say it at the next meeting. If you come right at 10 o'clock, you're going to wait in line for about an hour. If you wait till 11:30, that is a doornail around here. Now, everybody's going to show up at 11:30. But, yeah, so it's really busy at the beginning and then it's closed down.
What date is that?
Saturday, September 14th, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then lastly, and I'm going to say this at every meeting too, the general election is happening November 5th, if you all know that. And absentee ballots will go out the end of September. We do not have ballots yet. We've had a lot of people coming to our counter wanting to pick up their ballots. We do not have that. And they'll be mailed out around the end of September. And as always, I'm looking for workers for the election, 16 to 18, and then 18 to above, you have to be a registered voter, but 16 to 18, you're 16 to 17, you're eligible without being registered to vote. And in the forum, I have 23 precincts absentee, and we're going to be, I believe, we're going to break records with this election. So that's just my prediction, but we'll see if I'm right or wrong.
I know we've talked about it in the past. You reached out to the government classes, the
We
Taylor High School and the math classes.
Mr. Chairman, we will go there. I don't have the exact date. It's in September, National Voter Registration Day. My deputy clerk and I visit all of the government classes. So we go through for pretty much the whole day, and we go every period, and we visit at the beginning, we give our spiel, and we have them fill out their application. If they're eligible, they can fill out the application to work. And obviously, if they're 18 and they're not registered to vote, we'll register them to vote the same day, too. So we do that. We tried to do it in the lunchroom before. It just didn't get as much.
But as part of that, do you try to see if any of them are interested in working on election day?
Yes,
Okay.
we take the applications. We tell them it counts towards if they need credits for National Honor Society for service hours. They'll count for that, and they get paid. So you don't get a lot of options of volunteer work that you get paid for. That counts towards your credits for that. And then, when you tell the kids, the students, if they get paid, their eyes light up. So.
Sir, I see that you're waiting to speak. I will definitely recognize you. You don't need to stand the entire time to see we've got some other folks here. Right now, I see we've got kind of three, but certainly I'm going to go in the order as I currently see it when we get to that point. So you're welcome to stand, but Madam Clerk, anything else?
Good. No, I'm just going to give that. Still be tired to hear me talk about this by November 5th, but I want to get that word out there to, if you want to get involved, if you have any questions on what happens on election day, that's the best way to find out. Get involved.
And Madam Treasurer, I know I just dropped off my taxes, but maybe as a reminder, have we already extended? Did we give you the authorization to extend to the end of September, or?
We usually extend the winter deadline. The summer deadline is always September 30th.
Okay.
The cash office is open Monday through Friday. You can drop off at the drop box here on High Street. We also have online payments available through September 30th.
Council.
So at the last couple meetings, I did mention requesting some documentation to view
employees wish to be kept, they wish that to be kept confidential, to, frank communications I need to have with the mayor or those department heads or with council people. So those types of communications will not be produced to anyone, whether it be through a FOIA or otherwise.
Any further questions?
Chairman,
Councilwoman?
I guess if we can get in looking at, I think what pertains to council access would be section 2.5, records open to the public, and then also 611, investigation. I don't want to say they seem contradictory, but like 2.5 says, all such books, papers, records, files, and accounts should be kept in a place, accessible to council. But 611 covers investigation. So it just, I guess at some point, maybe prior to the next meeting, getting clarification of what that means.
I just want to be cognizant that we've got two major items. And I don't know if you're going to have any vacation
Okay.
time. I'm just being honest, I think it's a valid question, but we've got two major things, I think, that we've asked that to do. And certainly, you can ask for greater clarity, but maybe we ask that he come back to us the second meeting in September, if that's agreeable.
I mean, I'm not necessarily one leaning on information, Councilman Daniels, but I just, in looking at it and hearing it, and I know the mayor and I before on the last term, we had to go in and look at legal invoices, and we weren't sent them, so I think there's definitely parameters that not everything should be scanned and emailed, because some things we don't want out in the world. They may inadvertently get disclosed. So I think that there's definitely parameters to say for certain things we have to come in, but just, I guess, getting that clarification, because it says all, but then later it talks about investigations, which seems a little different, so it's just honestly getting that clarification, and whether we agree with the subject or not, if someone's asking for something. We may disagree with the premise, but they are a council member that, for charter, allows them to ask for stuff. So it's just, again, clarifying what we are allowed to ask for, how we ask for it, how we receive it. I think would be good.
Chairman, and because it does state in the charter all records, and then it does say of any departments,